What's goody, what's poppin'? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, also hit the bell to get the post notifications. But yeah. So with the new next gen Madden out, I've seen a lot of people talk about this movement, as y'all see here, and how they say people move a little too slowly and can't get sticky and yada yada yada. This is not my gameplay, by the way. I'll link the person's channel in the description. But I just wanted to show something. Now looking at that, I realized that those little intricate movements and those quick cuts like that aren't in the game. As far as, like, you know, when they cut on a dime like that. But at the same time, you're not gonna get that when you running full speed. Like, the right trigger is to be running full speed. I mean, like, you are trying to dust whoever you're running against. You're not gonna be able to turn running full speed. Now this is that was Doug Baldwin and this is Keenan Allen running, right? They're not running full speed right there. They're you know, obviously running with some urgency, but they're not running full speed, so they're going to be able to turn easier than, you know, they would be if they were running full speed. Now in this instance right here, as soon as he got outside of the the blocking, he probably hit the right trigger, which is why he was able to get those intricate cuts right there. As soon as he broke out of that cut, he started sprinting, but it took him, he had to gather himself, you know what I mean? Like you see here, he's not sprinting, and then bang, right there he starts sprinting. I think what people are forgetting is you can't run full speed. Here's a perfect example of that last play. Wasn't running full speed, still not running full speed, had to stop and gather himself. Boom. You see 21 and 37 there. Had to gather themselves and cut back. Another play. Boom. He had the corner and the safety bit too hard in one direction. And then they had to plant. Boom. You see that with Slay. Darius Slay, who is obviously faster than Hopkins. I mean, it's not perfect from what I've seen, because I don't have the next gen system, so I'm not even gonna say like, oh, you know, it's perfect or it's not perfect, yada yada yada. But from what I'm seeing though, it's a lot more accurate. You know, right there I'm showing the corner committed to the inside. Devontae Adams went to the outside, and I mean, he had to pay for it. And I'm not saying that the locomotion is perfect. I mean, I can't remember what Madden it was, but they had it to where you could, you know, chain a bunch of jukes together, and not like the full juke animation, but you could like try and break somebody down. I'll put a clip in here right now. This commentary is going a little longer than what I wanted to, but you could break them down. Now I think they need to do that, maybe tune the locomotion a little bit, you know, to where when you're not running full speed, you know, you can make your little cuts, like how they have the one cut system now, you know, in the current gen, where, you know, if you're not holding the right trigger and then you change direction at the same time of holding the right trigger, they just kind of burst, you know, they do that little burst. I'm sure it's in this one too, but I haven't seen anybody, you know, utilize it yet. Like right there, if you're not holding the right trigger, he's not doing, you know, that super rounded, you know, cut right there. It would be more of a like plant burst, you know. I think a lot of people just don't understand how running and physics works, and I think once that happens, you know, you'll have better results. But like I said, it's not perfect, because there's some stuff I've been seeing too that's just kind of funky and clunky looking. Like, obviously, excuse me, DeAndre Hopkins is not going to feel the same as Tyreek, who's not going to feel the same as Derrick Henry, who's not going to feel the same as Bobby Wagner, who isn't going to feel the same as Levante David, or Darius Slay, or you know what I mean? Like, every single one of these players is going to feel different. A linebacker is going to feel slower than, you know, Tariq Cohen or, you know, Cordero Patterson, Dante Hall, for example. Like, they're all going to feel different. The linebackers are going to feel slower. The linemen are going to feel slower. You know, even, Malcolm Jenkins is going to feel different than, you know, your more agile dudes. They're not fast. You know what I mean? Like, Harrison Smith isn't going to feel super fast and super quick. But the thing is, he's smart and he understands where he needs to be. You know, you can't overcommit to stuff in this next gen Madden, which I think is going to really show whether people understand where they need to be, what the coverage is. Now, I'm going to say this, though. The coverages, the zone coverages, and the matching principles which is, it's getting exposed heavy because people is throwing for 500 yards. And this is what happens when your coverage doesn't do what it's supposed to. You're going to get exposed. The reason why Tyreek Hill had, dang near 300 receiving yards in the first half against the Bucks. But, you know, a lot of the frustration I'm noticing, though, is coming from, you know, that just not understanding how running works really in physics and all that stuff. But there's also some big stuff getting exposed, which NYK actually kind of predicted this, is that if the, you know, the movement is like this, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to get exposed. I mean, I showed you some of these juke, you know, highlights in real life of, you know, you get broke down, you don't know which way somebody's going to go. If you hesitate just the slightest bit, it's off to the house. And what's happening is the match principles aren't you know, great. And also the deep halves and those, you know, deep halves and the thirds just are not playing the way they should be. Now, I understand if, you know, the awareness isn't that high, or, you know, their zone coverage isn't that high, so they may, you know, make some mistakes here and there, which is, you know, in my book is perfectly fine. You know, if I'm playing cover 3 and, you know, I'm a Steelers fan, for instance, right? I know that Minkah Fitzpatrick is a better safety as far as coverage goes than Edmonds, right? Edmonds isn't a bad safety at all. He's a good hybrid type safety. He's playing more in the box. He's stopping the underneath. He's stopping the run. But I know if I have Edmonds on a third, just say I have Edmonds on a third, I have Hayden on a third, and I also have Minkah Fitzpatrick on a third, I understand that my weakness in the thirds is going to be Edmonds, right? So if Evans gets beat or makes a, you know, has a mishap on one of the third coverages, and he lets somebody get over top because he's trying to come down and go, I don't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem with is if there's, like, I've been seeing plays where literally the only thing coming to their side of the field is a post, and they seriously will bite down on a drag. They will sit there and look at it and watch a drag that was like 20, 30 yards underneath them, and they'll kind of sit down and watch over top of that, where it's like, no, I mean, you know that, you know, there should be some communication or something like that, but there's a post coming your way. You don't want it to get over top. I get it if you know, you stand flat-footed a little bit and you know, you don't get all the way back, but they will literally run up, or they just don't move at all. And it's like your job is to keep everything underneath. And what that I'm noticing that's happening a lot is that they keep everything. They don't backpedal enough. You know, they don't they don't keep things underneath. Now, I understand sometimes with this Tyreek stuff, because some of them plays I've been seeing too with Tyreek, they backpedaling, but Tyreek just too fast. You know, if you not, you know, I mean, it happens in the NFL. Like, I've seen stuff where it's like, bro, how did he get behind these safeties, and it's just he's too fast. But I've also been seeing in the next gen stuff where you got dudes that aren't burners by any means, and they getting behind these things, and it's not some intricate double move route like you've seen with Devontae Adams. Like, it's just a simple crossing route basically, and it's getting behind these deep blues, which shouldn't be happening. Those safeties see those deep routes coming. Now, if they also see something else, you know what I mean? Like, if they're throwing double routes or double moved routes, or there's a weird combination of routes on the field, and they're like, well, I don't know if I should take this go route on the outside, or if I should take this deep in coming this way. So they kind of take a step to the inside, and then the post comes over top, and they get caught in a weird situation. I get that, but it's those routes where it's just a deep post on the left side of the field coming to the right side of the field, and there's nothing on the right side. Like, they'll have a trips formation, right? And it's just a deep post going from the left to the right, and that right third, he doesn't back up, and it's like there's only one direction that this route could be coming from, and they still don't back up, and then it gets they get burnt, they get toasted, or they just let the post cross their face. They will be behind it and just let the post cross their face. That I don't understand. You see somebody running in front of you, you want to make sure you keep them in front of you. You don't want them to get ahead of you, which is what's happening on these cover 3 beaters that you see on YouTube. Even in the current gen, that's a problem. There's a play that I uploaded actually on my channel. It was strong tight, and it was FL post. Excuse me. And it's a deep post going left to right or right to left, whatever side you want to run it on, and you put a comeback route on the right side. Well, it's like, I understand that right third is gonna kind of get occupied by that comeback route because it is a deep route, but the middle third should definitely take over that deep post, because he's coming across his face, and he's gonna see that you should be able to see that safety. There's principles that need to be played, but that deep post, he should at least drift towards it. I get it if there's they're not good, or they have bad awareness and bad zone, and they think that the other deep hat or the deep third is playing a certain way, and yada yada. I get that every so often, but for the most part, man, it's just like simple stuff. Like, you see this dude cross your face, at least drift with him. They just stand there and keep backing up. They cover grass. They don't really try to do whatever. But I mean, some of these plays, some of the match principles in the zones don't make sense, and it's getting exposed. It's getting exposed because it's players like Tyrann Mathieu getting just made look silly on some of these zones. It's dudes like Minka Fitzpatrick I'm seeing get made silly on some of these zones, and you got Jamal Adams looking silly, and it's like, I get it. Some of the zones, man, they fixed the zones. They addressed the trenches. How the D line and O line interacts. They improve the animations. I think if they improve the juking and the they don't need the celebration on the left stick. I think that should be more of the precise kind of stuff, not the super jukes that was in Madden 20 where you could spin 5 yards away from, none of that stuff. But I'm talking about more of if you hold the left trigger, you break them down, you can do the super quick, super quick intricate little cuts. Maybe that could be something they could think about doing, where you hold the left trigger and you use the left, where the left trigger is more associated with the left stick, and then you have your jukes and whatnot. So you could, you know, do something like that, or like if you hold left trigger and juke, it's not going to be a jump cut or a, you know, one of those super hard jukes or a dead leg or something like that. It's going to be more of a, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, obviously you're not going to be able to hold the sprint button and do these little intricate jukes, but it's more of a like precise type thing where, you know, you're chaining together a couple of jukes. You know, I want to do these little babies, you know, the little stutter step kind of thing, and then let go of that, and then hit the juke, and then it's, you know, it looks more like the you know, the real life clips I was showing you. But yeah, man, Madden, EA is getting exposed right now, man. I like the movement. It's not perfect though. It definitely can improve. But it's exposing a lot of other flaws in this game, like we were talking about, the zones, the blocking, the trenches, the pursuit angles. For sure, the pursuit angles have always been an issue, but it's gonna be even more of an issue when the movement is more realistic. You know, you coming at people with a horrible, like that, for example, you know. He came at DeAndre with a horrible pursuit angle. He was coming at him too sharply, and had he been a little bit more trusting that he was going to get back to the left side right here, you know, as soon as he did this and planted, I think he had the advantage on that left side. But yeah, man, there's just some improvements. I'm waiting until 22 to see the true improvements, because I think I gotta understand 21 is done. It was already made. They already been working on it. There's not much you can add to something that you pretty much done with. So 22 we gotta see. Hopefully I can get my daggone PS5 soon, man. Sony, I ain't even gonna say Sony. It's these scalpers and all this other stuff, and actually too, Sony too. They out here tripping with how they did that release, man. Like every other console, man. I remember PS2, and when I got a PS2 and when I got a 360. Don't get me wrong, you know, we had to go to the mall a couple of times to find a PS2, but we found it, I want to say the day after Christmas or on Christmas, one of the for my PS2, and then the 360. I mean, shoot, I just went into GameStop and picked one up. I mean, you know, it was, I want to say it was like the week after the initial release, but yeah, it seems like they trying to do this how Supreme does it, man. They do the limited quantities. They keep doing the limited, just like it's 2020. I know y'all can, you know, ship these out faster than that. Like, I get it's the pandemic's going on and whatnot, but y'all should have understood with Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, and it being the pandemic and people being stuck at home, y'all should have understood that the demand for these systems was going to be mad high. You know what I mean? And it's it came out this November 12th, and it's almost, what is today? December 6th. So they almost had a whole month to get out all of these PlayStation 5s and Xboxes, and they can't do it. I think they're doing it on purpose. And a lot of people getting turned off from it, man. Myself included. I'm really getting frustrated with just how they handling all of this, man. I'm kind of looking into getting a PC. That way I ain't got to worry about all that. I understand, you know, that you still got to wait for, you know, different parts and, you know, things like that. But as far as PCs, you know, as long as you got the PC, you can always just, you know, update and, you know, when you want, yada yada yada. But anyway, this ain't about the PS4, none of that stuff. This is more about Madden. So let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. Hopefully I can get this dang PS4 or PS5 and whatnot, and get my hands on it, and I'll do more in-depth videos and keep up with the stuff. I'm gonna keep doing this Madden 21. This Black Ops is butt, and I'm tired of playing it already. I just got to the point where I got perk greed and I got all the stuff I want, but it's just annoying. So I guess I'll wait for season 1. I'll upload a little bit of that, but I'm gonna just keep Madden coming, and yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Go ahead, comment what y'all think below. and leave a like, you know, something, man. But if y'all do like these videos, subscribe, because we're gonna keep doing more. And peace.